Before I get to the bonus question, I did want to ask you something that sort of popped into my head as you were introducing yourself. You're a father. You have two small children and one not so small child. When you got into gaming, you weren't a father, I don't think. How has being a father and watching children develop mentally and emotionally, how has that changed how you look at games and how you design them?
Huh. Well, so when I first started video games, ironically, I worked in children's educational games for
Yeah.
a long time.
Yep.
And I didn't have kids then, but I'd sort of been a teacher for a while and had sort of a lot of ideas about how to sort of use entertainment elements to communicate educational content. And multimedia was the sort of perfect storm. This is back in 94 or 95, right?
Yep.
As I've had kids, I mean, especially Casey, who's 7.5, gonna be 8 soon, he's a gamer. He's a game player. And so I watch him play, whether it's on my, whether it's playing Diner Dash on my iPad or it's, sitting down with me to play Dream Chronicles on my lap. I watch him, and I think he's old enough now to sort of reflect back to me some of the things that any, fan will both delight in or be frustrated by. And so it's helpful to see. It reminds me often of the power of things like metastructure and story and his investment and this sort of notion that games allow for players to feel progress and accomplishment in small ways that gives them pleasure and delight. And then frankly, he's got a Wii, we've got an Xbox. He and I, I let him play Portal and some, and I see that he's got an appreciation for the vibrancy of the medium and its promise and its potential, and it makes me think about how when I was coming up, there were no ways to learn about, I didn't think I'm going to go grow up and be a video game designer because there was no such thing, but that, our medium has come such a long way, and there are, in fact, people like my son who are sort of getting what it is and what it could be at an early age, and that strikes me as promising for the art form, for the medium, and for the careers of many both existing and aspiring folks in game design and game production.
Well, that reminds me of something that David Fox said. David over at iWay, and I don't know if you know him or not, but
he's a friend of mine.
Yeah, he's a brilliant guy, and he once said that if a 7-year-old can play it, that's a successful game, interface design, game design. So yeah. I think you're kind of saying that, sort of. So we'll end with, I'm going to give you a chance to make a final statement too if you feel like that, but I wanted to put something kind of fun in there because I know that you're a musician. I know you're a Beatles fan. I'm a Beatles fan. I'm just wondering, can you tell me who your favorite Beatle is and why, and give me the one Beatles song that you'd take to the grave with you if you had to choose just one?
So, sure. I'm a huge John fan. I was in high school when I was a very big Beatles fan. I was in high school in Manhattan when he was shot, and my friends and I spent, I think that months after he died, going to the Dakota after school, and it was sort of this sort of permanent visual that was going on there. I play in bands, as you mentioned. I think my bands have covered a bunch of my favorite songs, including And Your Bird Can Sing, Hey Bulldog, Cry Baby Cry, and She Said, She Said, and I'm sure a bunch of others that I love. Although I will end with these days, I'm more partial to Ruby Tuesday by the Rolling Stones, which is my daughter's favorite bedtime song.
Okay. You're going to duck the favorite Beatles song, so I'm going to let you get away with that.
You can go with She Said, She Said. Okay. If it's to my grave, since that song has I Know What It's Like to Be Dead.
Okay, good one. Is there anything you want to conclude with, Kenny? Something you want to tell our users or the world?
Yeah. I guess I want to sort of two things. One is to make sure that I'm taking a moment to acknowledge that all of the work that PlayFirst does, making all of these games, the Dash Line, Avenue Flow, Dream Chronicles, Chocolatier, that it's not me. Like, these are teams and scores of talented people that I'm lucky enough to work with, and how much I appreciate them. And then just a shout out to the Shockwave audience and to the audience of fans at large who we bring in, who we talk to regularly, who give us their input, their guidance, their feedback, and ultimately their money when they believe in and enjoy our products, and how much I enjoy and appreciate working with an audience of people who delight in what we do and who allow me to make and work with great people to continue to delight them.
Thank you so much for your time today. We know you're really busy. You've got stuff to do. We appreciate that you took time out to talk with us. We wish you well and congratulate you on all the great work you've done.
Hey, thank you so much. That's so sweet of you to say, and let's get that coffee sometime soon.
Let's do it. Thanks, Kenny.